Welcome back. I'm Tom Hewitt, and this is News 13's Eye on the Election. I'm here with Charlie Leonelli, who's running for school board. And Charlie, you've been sitting on the school board for some months now due to an appointment this past spring, but not everybody may know who you are. So give us a little bit about your background and also why you're running for school board.
Okay, well, I'm a 26-year veteran of Fairbanks, Alaska, and part of the process of me getting on the school board was that there was an open seat at the time and they were looking for somebody to fill it, and so we went through an interview process. And being a parent of one son that's currently in the third grade and another one that's going to come up through the ranks in the elementary program, I thought there was never a better time than now to jump in and see if I could throw my hat in the ring and make that happen. Went through the interview process, got appointed by the board, and served for about 6 months this last year. And so doing that, now that elections come up, I think that it's a good opportunity for me to continue on with that cause and see if I can continue to do some good work for the children and people of Fairbanks.
New standards for assessing schools and teachers went into effect pretty recently here, and among other things, what they do is they tie teacher assessment to basically student performance. And do you think that's a good metric as far as assessing teachers and schools? And as far as those assessments, what weight do you think that they should have in, say, directing resources to different schools or teachers?
I think they need to put a lot of weight towards directing resources to teachers. And so what the school district has already got, they've got committees working on programs that are going to bring those resources to the teachers so that they're properly trained, that they have the proper resources so they can get it back into the kids, and so those kids are going to be taught properly. It's a good network that they've got, that they've started on already. They knew this was coming from the state, and so they're prepared for it. And we've been presented on some of the approaches that they're going to take. I think the teachers are really happy with what they see, and I think that that's going to in turn show better results towards the students. And so if the students continue to do better, the teachers' performance will be better as well.
The issue of vouchers has been divisive every place it's been brought up. It's been brought up here in Alaska, although never considered very seriously by the legislature. Some people say that vouchers, which would essentially give a check to parents that of education money, which they could then spend at a private or public school. Some people say that they're a great thing because they can give students and parents more choice in selecting what kind of an education experience they want, whereas other people say that they violate the principle of the separation of church and state. What do you think about vouchers?
I think that there are good pros and cons to those arguments. As far as Fairbanks School District's concerned, I think that the school district does a great job of teaching our kids and preparing them both academically and socially. So as far as the state that we're currently in, I don't see any reason why that would even need to be brought up. I think that we do a great job of providing a proper and adequate education for our kids. So until the school district really starts to deteriorate and as far as quality and the education that our kids are receiving, I don't think that it's something that we need to consider at this point in time. Maybe decades down the future, but with the proper school board and proper administration in place, they're going to make sure that we've got the proper teachers in place and that the kids are receiving a proper education and continue to increase in our attendance ratios and increase in our graduation rates, and then therefore have a better opportunity for schooling after that, whether it's secondary or for job training that's available to the kids also.
The state legislature and under the leadership of Governor Parnell have kept education funding basically flat for about the past 3 years. In particular, the base per student funding allocation has not been increased in those 3 years, and school district administrators across the state say that's kind of starting to show a little bit in kind of strains in the classroom. And as the school board, you don't have a huge role in, say, determining what that funding number is going to be, because you essentially have to take it from the borough and from the state. But do you think that the school board should be active, I guess, in trying to help the legislature and the governor to determine what level of funding is appropriate?
Absolutely. The school board needs to be a voice, be an advocate for the school district and for the kids here. And so we need to address it earlier than we have in the past, and we need to provide consistent pressure gently throughout the next session. But we need to do that earlier than we did in the past. And so, yeah, you're absolutely right. The funding has been flat for the last several years, and as heating costs go up, as shipping costs go up, and there are costs that are beyond the school district's control, that as those go up and they eat into the funding that's available. So we need to do everything we can to make sure that we're in stride with those increases, so that we can give the proper allocation dollars to the proper departments, and that our kids aren't going to suffer for that.
All right. Well, I think that's about all the time we have,
Okay.
Charlie. But thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much.
And for the rest of you, don't go away just yet. We've got Jamie Schwartzwald coming up next with sports.